right, guys, what's going on here? It's Crazy Kevin, and I'm here with UFC fighter Blake Bilder. Blake, how we doing?
Oh man, I'm blessed, baby. Just got done with some open mat up at 10th Planet Orange. So there's nothing but killers, good wrestlers, good jiu-jitsu guys, high-level guys in there. So just went with absolute killers for an hour and a half straight.
That's awesome, man. And talk to us a little bit about your fights. I mean, we last saw you in February. Do you have anything coming up recently? Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So the last fight, I was down for a little bit before that last fight, and yeah, it was unfortunate. I had a little bit of time off that I had to have, but it's all good. This time I'm working and I'm doing everything I can way before the fight. So I don't have anything on the horizon right now, but when that time comes, 100% best believe we will be fully prepared. There's no time off, so we're constantly training, traveling to train, getting better, and just working and moving every day.
I love it. And with that being said, when every time you come to your fights, you got a big entourage, man. Talk to us a little bit about your entourage you like to bring to your fights.
Yeah, it's just all the people that have shown love and supported me, and I got a lot of people that got a lot of love for me and believe in me, and I try to bring as much energy into the rooms as possible. So I think a lot of people want to reciprocate that for me on a big day and big moments in my life, So I got a really solid crew that people that are loyal to me, people that have my back, win, lose or draw, and that's what we all need in life. We all need a good entourage, a good group of people, a good core group of people that we know, we love, and that we could trust.
Yeah, 100%. And with that being said, you fought a couple times now in the UFC, and you've been fighting a while now in your career. What is maybe the favorite place that you fought at so far in your career?
Oh man, probably Perth, Australia. Perth, really. The Australian fans show me so much love, man. I still get messages from people out there all the time, saying that I'm their favorite fighter, that they still believe in me, that they're looking forward to my next one, to keep training hard. And man, messages like that are just everything. If you go on to any UFC fighters page after they lose, you'll see a lot of fair weather fans or a lot of people that have gambling addictions, just laying into them. You ruined my parlay, hey, like this and that, just saying the worst things, So I thought I was the only one when I had first experienced that, and then, if you go to their pages, the people who lost, man, you just see people laying into them, and it's just terrible. It's like it's unfortunate, but you realize, that's what happens when you're in the spotlight. That's what happens, unfortunately, to being the man in the arena. So you can realize that, what, you're putting it all at risk. These are just people that are behind a keyboard, behind a phone, and most of them just have gambling addictions. So I don't take too much of it personal anymore, is what I'm trying to say.
No, that's important. You definitely can't take it too personal. And, with that being said, too, when you're fighting the Apex, you mentioned that you could hear the commentators sometimes. And, like, one in particular, they mentioned that you were, like, a slow starter and stuff. How does it feel to, like, be in the Apex and be able to hear, like, the commentators and as well as, like, your coaches, too?
Yeah, the Apex is cool. I like the Apex. However, to be honest, I feel like as a fighter, I didn't train so hard and work my butt off to fight in a gym with like a few people on the bleachers. I want to be under the spotlight. I want to be with the crowd. So I feel a little bit like it's taken away from the people who deserve to be in a big arena with a lot of fans. I love the energy from the fans, so or the haters, like I had a mix of both when I was in Australia, mix of both when I was in Vancouver, Canada, so for me, I just think that we deserve a little bit more than the Apex. I want to be doing something something bigger and better. You know, I want to be on that big card with people either booing me or chanting for my name. You know, so I think the Apex is fine. You know, but I'd like to be in an arena personally.
Yeah, and I think you deserve that. And you know, with that being said, I mean, how many wins do you think it could maybe take to maybe see you on that main card one day?
A main card, I think I gotta have one or two really good fights. You know, so I think one or two really good fights. You can see me on a main card again. You know, I think I could compete with any of these guys. You know, I'm watching Alex Caceres and Sean Woodson last night, and I'm like, man, you know, like that should be me. You know, like I deserve to be in front of a big crowd, putting on a show, and you know, I could beat these guys. You know, it's just I had an unfortunate series of events. You know, like dealing with injuries going into that Vancouver fight, and then being down a little bit, and there's some politics involved in that last fight, but at the end of the day, no excuses, because at the end of the day, all responsibility is put on me. You know, I don't put the blame on anybody other than myself. If I take a loss, that's on me. It's not on my coaches. It's not on where the event was. It's not on my management. You know, it's on me. You know, so I have to reflect, take a look at the things that I'm doing right, take a look at the things that I'm doing wrong, and then adjust. You know, and that's what we're doing right now.
Yeah. And, you know, you just mentioned earlier that you're working really hard in the gym. But another thing I noticed with you too, man, you're working really hard on your social media. What's your goal with your social media? And, you know, how do you like posting and trying to go viral with your certain clips?
Yeah, you know, it's like, look, there's a lot of people that just live in fear, you know, and think I think if anybody is talking about me and anything that I'm doing, you know, it's because, you know, anybody could do what I'm doing. Anybody could post up some training videos and this and that, but people have fears, um, and that limits them. And so it's so easy to talk about somebody else and what they're doing and this and that, you know. But for me, honestly, I just focus on the love of teaching people things that are cool and fun, and I just enjoy it. And I found something that other people really like, and people have just shown so much love. You know, like it's been crazy. I got one where it hit 20 million views, and I think I got 100,000 followers within a month from that, amongst other things. You know, so I'm just having fun. You know, if I have a cool idea for like a ninja move or like a technique or a combo of the day, I just do it. You know, I don't even think about it. You know, whereas other people, I think they have a lot of fear based around that. You know, it's like, oh well, what if somebody sees the technique, and what if somebody knows, you know, this? But really, my focus is you know, there's not really like an end goal, right? It's just for me, I love people. I really do. I love people, and I love giving back and reciprocating and having fun with it. Like bro, we only have so much time on this earth. We gotta give back and have fun. And I think, you know, there's a story in the Bible, and I don't get all biblical, but you know, it's like there was three people that got talents. One got 10 talents, and he multiplied it by 10. The other got 2 talents, and he multiplied it by 5. And the other got 1 talent, and he took that talent and he buried it. And he later went back, and the dad was like, hey, what'd you do with it? He's like, oh, I multiplied it by 10. He's like, oh, good work, my son. He's like, what'd you do? Multiplied by 5. Oh, good work, my son. He's like, what'd you do with the talent? He's like, oh, I took it over here, buried it right in the safe place, and nobody touched it, and I got it right here. And he's like, oh my gosh, like, you missed the point. Like, you didn't do anything with the talent, with the life that you got, with the skills that I gave you, with the blessings that I poured onto your life. You just took it and buried it. You just took it, and we're too afraid to speak it out into the world, and to go after what you truly want. Instead, you shied away from it, and you buried all your talent and all your skill, and you hid away from the world. when so many people could have used that, when you could have helped so many other people, but instead you were selfish. So for me, I like to take what I have and give it away.
Yeah, and we appreciate those videos, man. I mean, any techniques you're posting up there, I always appreciate you doing them. So definitely keep it up, man. And I hope more people tune into your stuff. And another thing I heard from you in another interview is that you used to train at a boxing gym called St. Paul. And with that gym, there was a lot of witty guys in there. They were roasting you and kind of having a lot of back and forth trash talk. With that being said,
Yeah.
do you have any favorite trash talking lines you might have heard from that gym?
Oh, at Rice Street Boxing Gym.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's like I mean, it was like different times. The main coach was Johnny Johnson. He was like this. He was a old school white cat, and like, man, he just say like the most racist things, but like he was I think he was a vice president of the Hell's Outcasts. The clubhouse was across the street, and look, he didn't mean it by anything, but he just said like he was like a white Dave Chappelle. Like
That's awesome.
he would just stereotype people. But I think one of the coolest things I heard was there's this cat Otis, old school cat, light skinned brother, and he'd be like, hey, he'd be like, Otis, why the fuck are you always smiling so much? And Otis looked at Johnny Johnson. He's like, hey man, I'm just one of those happy-go-lucky motherfuckers. I was like,
That's awesome.
what? I was like, that's the smoothest shit I ever heard anybody say in my entire life, bro. Like, I was like, when I was younger, I was like, man, I hope I can one day grow up and be as cool as Otis, because if Johnny said something like that to me, I'd be like, oh well, I'd be all insecure about it, but Otis, man, he didn't care at all. He was just like, he's like, hey, that's just who I am. I'm just one of those happy-go-lucky motherfuckers. And then like smoothly walked off and started training my boy Tony Too Sharp Lee.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, I think
Yeah.
another thing that people might not know about you, man, is not only are you good at impersonating your buddies like that, you're also pretty good at impersonating Nate Diaz, man. I was listening to you. I was cracking up listening to that. Do you still do that?
Yeah, I'm sick of all these motherfuckers trying to think that, I'm out here, trying to deal with all these fake Logan Paul busts his head. Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh no, you cut off. Oh no, not doing Nate Diaz. Oh, I got
Hey,
you. Oh,
Crazy
hold on. I
Kev, you
lost you
there?
for a little bit there. Yep, I'm here. Sorry, you got cut off a little bit when you were impersonating Nate Diaz.
Oh, that's all right. Everybody be trying to impersonate me. That's why a little impersonation of Logan Paul's over here. I had to bust his head over the pavement the other day. Put some staples in his head, but that's all right. I'm gonna win the lawsuit.
That's awesome, dude. That is so funny. How'd you even figure out you could do that?
Bro, like I used to watch sitcoms when I
Yeah,
was younger.
yeah,
So when I was younger, I realized like people had like a punchline, and
yeah.
then and I don't know, bro. I just feel like I can hear, like, when it's like subconscious. Like I'll listen to like the way somebody talks, and I understand like the patterns that have in like the tonality in their voice and the fluctuation that they have, and like when they do certain things, like when they get excited, when they don't. So I'm just able to read people. I think that's what helps me in like MMA too, is like I'm able to like read their body language really well.
Yeah, and I definitely think that's definitely important. And yeah, that's hilarious that you can do stuff like that. And another thing I heard about you too is a while back you mentioned that in another interview that Andrew Tate's video, one of his videos he put out, it kind of cured your depression a little bit. Can you talk to us a
Totally.
little bit about that video that you watched?
Yeah, so that's a really really cool one that you brought up, Kev, because okay, so I had dealt with I would say not dealt, I would say suffered from depression probably like my whole life, bro. Like even since I was a kid, I always just felt black sheep, like uh uh like I call it PMS, poor me syndrome. I used to speak Victimese, and and for some reasons, rightfully so, right? Like I didn't have a bad childhood, but it wasn't really the best either. There was some crazy stuff that would happen, like it was pretty chaotic. Um, but yeah, my little brother had just committed suicide, and I just won the world title, and I was like trying to learn how to deal with that, and um I heard Andrew Tate and I kept seeing this guy pop up, and I thought he was kind of I didn't think much of him. And then I was on my way to golf with my boxing coach, and I was like, and he was like, if you kill yourself, if you commit suicide, if you have depression, you're a coward. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, that's a bold statement. I was like, but this video has a lot of likes, and I keep seeing this guy pop up, and I bet he's saying that to like to short circuit your brain and to get you mad, to spark some emotion out of you. So I was like, and like meanwhile, like my brother had just taken his own life maybe 2 months ago, 3 months before seeing this, and I was like, I wonder what he has to say. I was like, don't judge it. And so I kept listening, and he's like, the reason being is you might have kids that need you, that need a father, that need a mother. You have a family that fought woolly mammoths and saber-toothed tigers, to keep your existence alive, that have fought long and hard for you to just waste your life away. And I was like, yeah, yeah, for sure. Absolutely. I agree. And he's like, do I believe in depression? I believe you can be depressed, you could be sad, but do I think a bolt of lightning can come down and strike you and, oh no, I have depression, I can't heal from it, and I can't ever get rid of it? No, he's like, that's not it. And he's like, all these people going around saying, oh, you can't. He's like, one of the things that I got famous for was saying that depression is not real. And then he explained that it's like a ghost. Like one person believes in ghosts, the other doesn't. They're laying in bed at night. One hears the wind and goes, "Oh my gosh, a ghost!" Like, oh, and they're checking under the bed, and they're checking throughout the house, and they're looking all around. They're panicked. They can't go to sleep the whole night. And the other person goes, must be the wind, goes back to sleep. And what he's saying is, like, because of the belief, you will react and respond in certain ways. And so he said that depression wasn't real. And like a bunch of people on the internet came after him. Well, after my little brother committed suicide, I was telling everybody, I go, yeah, yeah, I don't believe in depression. I don't operate out of that frequency anymore. I just don't go there. And people were like, oh no, it's a chemical imbalance, it's this and that. And I was like, yeah, it might be a chemical imbalance, but I just don't go there anymore. And and after about a month or two, people like beat me into reasonable submission believing that it was real, and I started feeling depressed again, and like I'm a guy that dealt with like suicidal thoughts and ideation like every single day. I tried committing suicide in 8th grade, and it didn't work, and that was the first time I prayed to God, and I prayed that if God had a purpose and a reason for my life, to keep me alive. And my life changed that night. I got really sick, and because I ate a bunch of pills, and then a month before Braden passed, he ate a bunch of pills, and then a month later, you know he finally finished off what he had started. And if I didn't hear what he had to say, like I resonated with him, because I was like, dude, I keep telling people I don't go there, that I don't believe in it, and that I don't operate at that level anymore, and people keep talking me back into it. And that was the first person that I had heard that goes, no, no, no. He goes, you could tell me all you want. He goes, look, it might even be real, but I personally choose not to believe it. He goes, I don't care what you say. It's not real. And if I don't believe in it, therefore it can't affect me. And it's so true. It's like I think about it like this. I think about it like there's people that have taken depression medication where literally it was just a sugar pill. And for years and years, oh yeah, the medication, it helped me so much. And they're like, yeah, that medication that you've been taking, it's sugar. It's not real. So what if it was just sugar, what saved them? The belief. It's the belief system. It's the belief. They believe deep down on a subconscious level that this pill that they were taking was changing the train of thought and the way that they feel. And the process of manifestation that I learned in T. Harv Eker's book called Secrets of the Millionaire Mind was thoughts become feelings, feelings equal actions, and actions lead to a result. So your thoughts lead to feelings, feelings lead to actions or inactions, which lead to a result. So everything is based off of your thinking. And the only thing that goes before that is programming. So if we can reprogram or program the mind to have certain thoughts, which, okay, that's the first thing you're doing. Sugar pill. The thought is, this is helping me. When I take this, I no longer have depression. So you believe that you no longer have depression. So for me, I I uh I had a lot of people reach out after Australia because I talked about it in an interview, and I actually helped a lot of people. A
That's
lot of people.
awesome, man.
I was just like, look, it's not the end all be all, right? I was like, but don't believe in it. Don't, because what happens is our train of thought goes back to, speaking victimese, where you're just like, oh, well, you know what? This always happens to me. I can never do anything right. I don't even like talking like that, even just telling you, because when I'm saying that, my subconscious mind doesn't even know the difference. And what happens is when we talk to ourselves like that, um, notice the body language. The body language, so your physiology affects your psychology. So when you start to talk like that, you go, what do? You lower the tonal pattern. You go, I can never do anything. And then boom, what happens is the downward look, the tightened up body, the lower tone, it all leads to depression. It's like Eeyore. Does Eeyore ever sound like, oh, Pooh Bear, I'm so happy? You're like, what? Anybody hearing that would be like, what are you talking about? Like, no, you're not. That's like somebody being like, hey, what's up, man? I'm having a really good day today. How's yours? You'd be like, it'd be weird, right? But I'm like, oh, dude, I'm having a great day today. Oh, dude, I'm so sad right now. Oh my gosh, dude, I've had the worst day ever, dude. It sucked. You'd be like, what the? It doesn't even compute, right?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't make sense. Like, I go back to the common denominator. I'm like, the thing that makes sense is what's internalized and how we are positioning our body and the way that we are you like it's like you can never cry with a smile on your face. If I'm like
Yeah.
this, I can't cry.
Right.
Or else you'd look like a sociopath, right?
Yeah. 100%.
100%. 100%. So when you understand that your physiology affects your psychology. So the way your body is postured, the way that your tone is, the way that you carry yourself has so much to do with all of that. And so you can have unmatched confidence, just in the way that you walk and talk. And so I stopped believing everybody else that was trying to like, and people inadherently are like killing me because I'm believing these lies. Oh no, it's a chemical imbalance. And they say it like this, like, oh no, like, ah, and you're like, oh yeah, 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 I guess you're right. But they're not, so if anybody's listening to this and you're like having a hard time and like you're dealing with mental health stuff, I would say do a few things, have an open body posture, walk and up, speak, walk fast, speak confidently, speak truth, If you say that you're going to do something, do it. If you don't want to do something, do not do it. Um, eat healthier, eat a more well-balanced, nutritious diet. Get good sleep. Good sleep is at a regular time, and also stay hydrated. Also staying hydrated is like one of the most key things that you can do. Is super important, and if you start adding all these in, and physical exercise where you're pushing yourself, exerting yourself harder and longer than you thought you could, I'm telling you, your whole entire life will flip and turn upside down. And then staying united we stand, divided we fall, right?
Yeah.
We have to stay together. We have to stick together. If I'm just in my room all day, isolated, alone, or just being in a room full of people and still feeling alone, that's because you're not connecting with anybody. You know, just connect with anybody about anything. And if you feel like you can't, just ask them about their day. And sometimes you know that those feelings come from too much selfishness, too much I self me. That's the ism. So we gotta get rid of that. And that's like doing that just changed my entire life, and I just don't go there anymore. I don't believe in it. I can feel sad, and it's like basically if you're sad, if you're mad, if you're frustrated, um, you really have to truly just believe in yourself and your ability to pull yourself out of it. Times, I know the Stoics back in the day would do a few things. They would go on long treks, they would fast, and they would pray. They would spend intentional isolation and prayer and meditation. Intentional isolation. Now, unintentional isolation, I think, can be dangerous. Uh, you know, that's like if you're isolating from the world, kind of running from things. But intentionally going into things with fact facing, fact finding, you know, discover, uncover, recover, discard, like type of mentality. I think the world is your oyster, because then you have the awareness and the step by tools to break down what's really going on, and the awareness to bring you to something that isn't working for you, and that way you can self-reflect and have a good enough analysis of what is actually going on. Of, is it other people talking to me a certain way, or is it me talking to me a certain way? And that's when I think the magic happens. And then also writing out who you believe that you are, and acting as if you were that person already. What would the perfect version of you do? Perfect version of me wakes up at 6:30 a.m. Boom, click stop, goes and get that prayer in the morning, bed made, makes some coffee, reaches out to the people that I love. Boom, that, like, then you have a new standard than you lived up to. Like, I remember when I used to drink, and I was part of the deal, and I remember I was just like, hey, if I keep doing this, man, like, I'm gonna miss out on all the gains that I get from weightlifting, from the training at the boxing gym, from all this. I go, if I keep this up, I go, so stop this, I'll get so far ahead. And I remember the next week them being like, hey, let's smoke, like, oh man, I don't smoke no more. Like, all right, like, hey, let's pop some bottles, let's drink. It's like, nah, man, I'm good. Like, I don't drink anymore. Like, bro, you drank last week. I'm like, bro, you're literally me off who I was a week ago. Man, my change up game is quick, bro. Don't ever judge me on who I used to be 6 to 7 days ago, bro. I ain't even the same. So one thing that I've been blessed with and gifted with, and had the ability to do, was, if something was not working in my life, I discontinued it.
It's
And I think
awesome.
so
Yeah,
many
I
of
think
us
that's
get
really important.
stuck with, like, people telling us, "Oh, Kev, who do you are?" They try to bring you down. Oh, you think you're just gonna go around interviewing people, you need to get serious. 401k, Kevin. 401 Kevin. You know, you need to invest in Bitcoin. You know, they're like, get out of here. You know, like
Yeah.
people trying to tell you how to live your life. People in adherence, uh, 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 like just speaking death unto my life. Oh, what? No, the depression, the sadness, it's real. It really, all depression is just like something working in your life, whether it be like a habit or a pattern you don't feel good about, and there's something in your life that you got to change. It's showing you that, like, you know, maybe you're like overeating, so you got to have more well balanced meals, or maybe you know, like you're having nights where you stay out too late, so you're tired, you know, and worn down. It's like, all right, well, you know, then we have to get more disciplined about having a bedtime, and you know, maybe your ADHD and whatnot. Well, most people and most things that are causing illnesses are from lack of hydration. You know, get some good ionized water or alkaline water. You know, mix a lemon in there, put some Celtic sea salt in, and boom, voila, you're hydrating yourself on a cellular level. And all of a sudden, whoop, 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 you're like Mario with the mushroom. You've upgraded.
Hell yeah. No, dude, this is awesome advice. And I really hope that, you know, anyone that's kind of struggling really takes that advice seriously, because I definitely think that was a fantastic message, what you said. And I'm definitely glad I asked that question now, because, man, that was a really good answer, man. I really appreciate it. And, you know, one other thing I'd
Yeah.
like to ask you as well, too, man. I'm a Taekwondo instructor. I've been teaching for 6 years, training for 20, and I'm only 24 years old. So I just kind of love what I do, man. And with that being said, with all the guys I kind of got in my gym, what advice would you give to them to keep coming in the gym and keep getting better and better every day?
Yeah, you know, so I was just teaching a jujitsu class yesterday, right? And
Yep.
I teach for people that are coming out of sober living on
Wow. Okay.
Saturdays at 2. And one of the guys is like, man, he's like, athletic, but he doesn't listen. You know, it's like, man, he got all the talent in the world, but he doesn't listen. You know, it's like, dude,
Right.
you have two eyes, two ears, one mouth. You know, so I say, use these twice as much as you use this. So he's like, yeah, you know, just because I have everybody go step by step, you know, step by step, how to get out of the position that you're in. And he's like, yeah, you know, I just need more on one. I'm like, no, dude, you just need to listen and follow along and not do what, and not get ahead and do the things that you're not supposed to do because you're not even doing it correctly. So I would just say for guys, you know, is to have I go by the how method. You know, be honest, open minded, willing. You know, that's how we learn. That's how we get better. That's how you know, it goes from just a thought to a thing. You know, as we honest with ourselves. Okay, am I listening? Am I open minded to what Crazy Kev is showing me? Am I willing to even try something new, something uncomfortable, something that I haven't done before, knowing that this guy knows what he's talking about? You know, it's like there's either two things, right? It's like you either don't trust me or you don't trust yourself. You know, it's like, which one is it? Or is it, or you know, maybe three, maybe is it both? You don't trust me or yourself. You know, so you know, it's I think it's people just having honest appraisal with where they're at, you know, and being open minded to, like, okay, you know, listen to everything, and I'm just gonna go with the belief that he knows what I'm talking. He knows what he's talking about, and if I follow what he says, maybe I too can know what I'm talking about, and maybe I too can know how to do it as good as him.
Right.
You know, so
No,
I would say just keep it that willingness.
yeah. Yeah, I definitely think that's important. I definitely think a lot of, especially the kids, man, they definitely got to take that advice of, you know, just let me show them how to do it, and, you know, enjoy the process, and they'll definitely kind of keep growing and growing. And, you know, Blake, this has been awesome. I've definitely been enjoying talking to you. But, Blake, you know, final message out there for the fans that are going to be
Same.
watching this video, man.
I would say just whatever your heart desires is a sign that that's probably what you should be going after. And I think you should also acclimate yourself more towards the faith side instead of the fear side. You know, faith is the exact opposite of fear. Fear is supposed to be there. Fear keeps us safe. However, fear also keeps us complacent. It also keeps us away from doing the things that we know we should do in order to grow and be the best version of ourselves. So I would say, you know, whatever you try to do something that you fear ever. That way you could take bounds of having active faith, because it's not it's easy to do the things that are comfortable, but only growth happens in the things that are uncomfortable. You know, so get comfortable with being uncomfortable and operate out of faith, and the wildest dreams will come true, because it's all on the other side of that fear that you have.
100%. Blake, it's been awesome talking to you, man. And, you know, we're looking forward to seeing you again in the cage and whatever's next on your Instagram, man, as well, too, with all those videos you're posting. And, yeah, hopefully we can stay in touch and run another one in the future. And, again, best of luck with everything going on and with your career.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you for having me, and have a blessed day, brother.
Yeah, man, you as well. Take care and enjoy your day.